guys, and welcome back to 20th Century Dude. I just want to apologize first off. I'm not exactly feeling that good today. It's felt a bit under the weather and a bit tired when I woke up this morning, so I'll try to make this as quick as I possibly can. To me, 2024 is going to be a mixed bag of movies. I think going forward, probably a lot of unnecessary reboots, remakes, prequels, sequels, all that other stuff. It's filled with it this year. So I don't know. It could either be a really good year for movies or really bad. So let's just open it up and start from the beginning. Start at February because January is almost over. So coming up soon, there's an Air Force One Down. I don't think that's a sequel to Air Force One with Harrison Ford. I'm pretty sure it isn't. I could be wrong about that. And up and coming, we have Madam Web, which I think we pretty much know at this point is going to fail. Even Sony is trying to not put it in their own Sony Spider-Man universe, which didn't really have a Spider-Man to begin with anyway, which was stupid. But we'll get more to the Sony Spider-Man universe or Spider-Less universe in just a moment. And then we have the Bob Marley One Love biopic. Now, I don't actively listen to Bob Marley or anything, but I've seen a few trailers. It looks promising, so I think it'll be good. It'll probably be better than Madam Web will, so if we just chug along. And then there's Dune Part 2, and honestly, that's going to be one of those franchises where I've seen none of the movies, including the David Lynch one. I'm pretty sure that's in theaters next month, so if I have time, maybe I'll go over and check out at least the David Lynch one, but I'm hoping to also get to Dune Part 1 as well, because it seems to have pretty good reception. And there's another Adam Sandler movie, I guess, a spaceman, whatever that is. Knowing Adam Sandler, we'll just have to find out. And then we have a Kung Fu Panda 4. I've not seen all the Kung Fu Panda movies. I only saw the second one as a kid, and that was it. I think it was one of the last movies I saw at the theater that had actual 35mm film before they were changing out the digital projectors. So remarkably enough, I remember all the film grain and dirt and whatnot. So that was one of the last movies. That was 10 years ago, I think, at this point. 10 to 12. So, as a whole, I haven't been too involved with the Kung Fu Panda series, sorry. But if it's something that I need to check out, I need to watch all the movies, I guess just let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I don't know if Kung Fu Panda 4 will be one I immediately check out. And here's, was it Arthur the King? Could be a decent dog movie. If you like dogs or Mark Wahlberg and whatnot, could be good. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That one, I'm not sure. That could either be a fairly decent follow-up to Afterlife, or it could be just unnecessary as crap. I don't know. Honestly, this is just me. I would have been fine if they just left off with Afterlife. You had Passing of the Torch. There's the promise of future adventures. We wouldn't have had to see additional adventures in the future with ghosts, but I guess we are. They're continuing on with this new cast as well as the old cast. So yeah, it'll either be, I'm assuming, kind of bad or fairly decent, but I don't know. I would have been fine if Afterlife was the last Ghostbusters movie. In a way, we finally had Ghostbusters 3. Congratulations. Now it's time to make something new and original. And this film here has some negative buzz. The American Society of Magical Negroes. Can't say that's going to be very well received. And then we have Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire. I guess they're continuing in the MonsterVerse. I thought they were done for the longest time, but I guess they're doing more. It looks okay. It looks like okay action schlock, but like the rest of the MonsterVerse movies don't. I guess don't expect it to be anything special, but even the Godzilla -1 movie that just came out was last month or something. I mean, this is not going to pale as well to that movie, but we'll just see how the new Empire turns out. And then there's more unnecessary sequels and prequels and stuff. The first Omen, which apparently is a prequel to the first Omen movie in the 70s. I've never seen any of them. I don't know how many people are actually going to be watching that. So yeah, Civil War is another one I am very, very mixed on. So I am very torn on whether it's something I want to pay like a $10 to $15 movie ticket for, because in the political landscape that we are in, this is going to be a very, very controversial movie. But I guess, speaking of A24, I am curious to see what their lineup is outside this Civil War. I mean, unless any of these get like good reviews, there's not really a whole lot I would want to see myself. The Sebastian Stan movie, A Different Man. I mean, I've only seen this like promo image for it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it'll be good. And what was it? I saw the TV Glow. I don't know how good that will be, so we'll just have to wait and see. I feel like with these A24 movies, I mean, I like to like, sorry, I'd like to see all of them. I mean, I within a couple of years, I'd like to say, hey, I've watched all the A24 movies. But then there are those that just don't appeal to me whatsoever. It's something I don't want to watch. Very mixed on Civil War. I don't know how that'll turn out. There's another Guy Ritchie movie, apparently, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I don't know what that is. I want to say it's something original. I don't think it's based on anything. And then we have the Rebel Moon Part 2 movie. Which I also doubt I'm going to watch. I am not the biggest fan of Zack Snyder to begin with. So when people call him this, big creative genius, I would liken to disagree. Because, I mean, his best works like Zack Snyder's Justice League and his Watchmen adaptation. I mean, those were his best ones, sure. But would I call them great movies? No. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the Watchmen adaptation was probably the best adaptation we probably could get of the source material, so it's an okay movie. But then there's Zack Snyder's Justice League, which, I mean, obviously compared to the original, it's much better. Is it great? Not really. It's fine. I mean, I put it on a DCU EU top 5, but I mean, would I consider it like, a great movie? I mean, sure, the first time watching it, yeah, it was a very good experience. But he doesn't make great stuff. I think he's kind of an overrated hack. But that's just me, so I don't know if I'm really going to see Rebel Moon Part 2, because even the buzz I heard around Part 1 wasn't exactly good. So moving on, there's this Zendaya movie, Challengers, which also might be decent. I don't know if I'm going to go see that or not. And then next up, there was it the Fall Guy movie. I feel like I've seen the trailer once, so I don't have like the sharpest memory of it. And then there's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I mean, I would only see that if I've seen the rest of the movies. I've only seen like the 4 original ones. So I did not see Battle of the Planet of the Apes. I also did not see the Tim Burton remake or any of the 3 newer movies that were after that. I haven't seen any of those, so I'm pretty much missing out on at least half the series by now. So again, that's going to be another one of those things where I don't know if I'll see it, and if I do, great. If not, I mean, oh well, it's not the end of the world. And then there's this If movie with Ryan Reynolds. I mean, Looks like something wholesome for kids. And then there's the Furiosa and Mad Max Saga movie, which, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing another Mad Max movie. That being said, I would have much rather have seen the Wasteland movie that was supposed to be planned after Fury Road with Tom Hardy. I would have much rather have seen that movie first than this. I mean, because I honestly don't see why we need a Furiosa movie, because the way I see it, Fury Road kind of already was her movie. You know, it's the same situation as the Ahsoka series. We didn't really need an Ahsoka series because, in a way, the Clone Wars kind of was sort of already Ahsoka's story. So it's like, why do we need more of these things? I mean, that'll be one of the films this year that I'll definitely go see regardless, because the Mad Max movies are really growing on me. I was introduced to them a couple of years ago, and especially the even-numbered movies of the Road Warrior and Fury Road. Oh, man, they're so good. I'm even going to go on a limb here and say that the Road Warrior is even, I would say, one of my top 10 favorite 80s movies of all time. I don't think I'd put it on the top 5, but it's definitely on the top 10. But yeah, both are spectacular, so we'll have to see how the Furiosa movie turns out. Hopefully it'll do well. There's the Garfield movie. Apparently we're getting another one of those. Chris Pratt voices Garfield, I guess. Could be worse. I mean, I don't think it's going to be another controversy like Mario, where people were debating whether or not he should be the voice of Mario or not. This is probably a better fit for him. Looks like it'd be fairly decent. And here's where we really start getting into the sequels and all that. Prequels. Yeah, there's the Ballerina movie of the John Wick series. Usually I've been very kind to the John Wick movies. I think they're very well made. I mean, I would even put John Wick Chapter 4 as one of last year's top 10 best movies. But the thing is, I mean, I don't know if this was a movie I really wanted made. I don't want the John Wick series to be one of those series where we're just making like additional movies and other spin-offs of stuff we don't necessarily need. I mean, I know people want more explorations in the lore. That's great. That being said, sometimes I like it better more as a mystery than to not have everything explored. Even was it the Continental series, I've still not gone around to that, although I don't necessarily feel like subscribing to Peacock just to watch one show that maybe I'll like, maybe it'll be decent, but there's also another problem with the streaming services. That's a discussion for another day, though, so I haven't even watched that. And then there's Inside Out 2. I mean, in terms of, like, sequels, Pixar sequels, I mean, it could be worse. I mean, there could have been worse options. I mean, they're making a Toy Story 5, which really is pissing me off, because we didn't need a Toy Story 5. The series ended twice. Like, it ended with 3, and then it ended with 4. And they're all separated after 4 anyway, so how much more can you possibly do? So I feel like that one's just going to be an awful cash grab, which is such a shame, because the Toy Story series in particular is a very important part of my childhood. But yeah, I think once we've gone in the, like, 2020s, especially with the Lightyear movie, Pixar has been given a real disservice. My childhood has now been given a real disservice, because yeah, Lightyear movie, that's like the worst Pixar movie ever made, as far as I'm concerned. It's horrible. There's a reason I didn't even go see that in the theaters, because I did not want to. There are other things I would have much rather seen anyway. And there's a Bad Boys 4 movie. Isn't it usually helmed by Michael Bay, I think, but I don't see his name listed there, which might not be a bad thing, because, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say Michael Bay's a hack, but he's definitely not a great director by any means, and I have not seen any of the Bad Boys movies, so I don't know what to expect from there. The Bike Riders, I think I've seen a trailer of, like, once. I don't know how good that'll be. Then there's a Quiet Place Day 1, which looks to be a prequel. I mean, I've only ever seen the first Quiet Place. I haven't even seen the second one, although That also seems to have a mixed reception, it seems. So I don't know. I mean, unless I watch the first one again and get around to the second one, I don't know if that one's going to be something I'll see, but we'll see. And then there's Despicable Me 4. I guess there could be worse sequels, but I mean, nothing I'm like really looking towards seeing. And then there's Twisters. I didn't even like the first movie that much. It wasn't horrible. It just wasn't my favorite, so I don't really know why we need, again, a sequel, especially since Bill Paxton's not even involved. Then there's Harold and the Purple Crayon, because I guess that's a movie they're doing now. And then there's another M. Night Shyamalan movie, which I also need to get caught up on, because I've only seen maybe half of his filmography. I mean, he's a mixed bag to me. He can either make something really, really good, like Unbreakable or The Sixth Sense. But then there's just other garbage, like The Happening, which it was an awful movie, so... I mean, I haven't even seen his last two ones. Was it Old and Knock at the Cabin? So I got some catching up to do. And then Alien Romulus. Why? Why do they feel the need to keep making these freaking alien movies? I mean, I feel like the problem is that this is one of those franchises now has become too bloated, so it's not really as special. As well as it first began. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have cut off after the third movie. I know that one, you're either, for Alien 3, you're either one of those people who thinks it's slightly underrated or you think it's horrible. So I get that. Because, I mean, there is some stuff in there that I don't think was done the best. That being said, I'm going to go on a limb here. Alien 3, I would watch over most of the Alien movies. Not the first two, obviously. Most of them, though. Because then there's Alien Resurrection, which I didn't like. Then there's the stupid Alien vs. Predator movies that I didn't like. And I would even call the second one like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's horrible. And then there's those prequels that we did not need because it ruined the mystery of the alien. We did not need to see where it came from. So thankfully, this movie is ignoring the prequels. That being said, they're awkwardly showing it between Alien and Aliens, so... yeah, I don't know how that movie's gonna go, but we'll see. And then there's the Kraven the Hunter movie, which I think will also be pretty bad. Again, in the Sony Spider-Verse universe, which is also pretty terrible. There's no good ideas ever when it comes the Sony universe. It's just horrible. Then there's Beetlejuice 2, which initially isn't a movie I would have wanted to have seen either, because Tim Burton is not like my favorite director. I mean, he has made some good stuff, but he's just not my favorite. And I haven't even seen the original Beetlejuice movie, but I think, considering that, Jenna Ortega's in it now, I feel like that's my only motivation for seeing it now, is because Jenna Ortega's in it. And then we have Transformers 1, which to me is an extremely awkward title. I don't know what they're going for here. Again, this could either be very disposable garbage, or it could be something really good. I don't know. I don't really know. And there's another Saw movie, apparently. Didn't we just get another one of those last year with some of the Saw X? I mean, I've never seen a Saw movie, so... I don't know. You tell me. Do they need to be chugging these things out on a conveyor belt? I forgot something. There's a John Watts movie, apparently. I don't know what it is, but and Joker Filet Jew. I also can't say I'm gonna want to see this because we really just did not need a Joker sequel at all. So as far as movies being released this year, this happens to be, in my opinion, one of the most unnecessary they can think of. This is just a waste. This is a waste. And they're making a musical with Lady Gaga. It's just a horrible decision. It's horrible. There's a Smile 2. I haven't seen the first Smile. There's a Terrifier 3. I'm not really familiar with that series. There's a Wolfman movie, which appears to be based on the original classic Wolfman. of the 30s and 40s, I'm assuming. But then there's Venom 3, which if they don't put a Spider-Man, either Andrew Garfield or somebody, I don't care who it is. I mean, as long as it's not Tobey Maguire, because that would really screw up continuity. But if it's not a movie where he's fighting a Spider-Man this time, this movie for sure is going to be an extreme waste. It's going to be an extreme waste of time. Because the past two movies, he's already been one fighting, what, two symbiotes already? Like, we don't need a third movie where it's the same thing. But yeah, the Venom stuff I'll talk about another day. Then there's a Gladiator 2 from Ridley Scott. I've seen like the first one once. I thought it was very good a couple years ago, but again, why did anybody ask for Gladiator 2? I don't remember anybody asking for that. Wicked Part 1. I don't know what's up with the Part 1 thing. But I guess they're adapting the Wicked Broadway play to the movies, so we'll see how that goes. Another Karate Kid. I don't know. Does that follow? Was it the new... what was the new show on Netflix? I don't know. I'm forgetting the name for some reason. I mean, it just says Karate Kid, so is it like Karate Kid 4 or 5? 6? I don't even know. Then we're getting into the Lord of the Rings movie for some reason. Bad idea. I don't know why they bothered doing it. Then there's Mufasa the Lion King. If there's anything we really asked for, was a Mufasa prequel, which is grand. Then there's Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Possibly go see. They're okay movies. It's a Nosferatu remake from Robert Eggers. I mean, I've only seen his one movie, The Witch. That's the only Robert Eggers movie I've seen, and I liked what was presented there. I don't know why he's remaking Nosferatu. I really don't know. But yeah, that's this current slate of movies, I guess. So, I don't know. Whatever I get around to, I'll get around to. I'm not really looking forward to most of it. A lot of it's just unnecessary, in my opinion. Unnecessary sequels or prequels or continuations of something. We'll check out some of it, and I'll pretty much let you know what I think of the movies then. Otherwise, stay tuned. Hopefully I get better by next week. I just felt very tired waking up this morning. Had a bit of a cough. It didn't even seem like my dorm room was producing a lot of heat for some reason, so I'm going to have to call somebody about that again. Well, otherwise, I mean, the rest of you, just stay healthy and have a good day.